Hi everyone, Al here. Today I'll be giving my thoughts on episode 1 and 2 of the anime, Hell's Paradise. The story is about Gabimaru the Hollow, who is one of the most vicious assassins ever to come out of the ninja village of Iwabakure. He's ruthlessly efficient, but a betrayal results in him being handed a death sentence. He has only one hope, in order to earn his freedom, he must travel to a long-hidden island and recover an elixir that will make the shogun immortal. Failure is not an option. In episode 1 we see, a ninja from the Iwabakure village known as Gabimaru is sentenced. However, despite the best efforts of the executioners, no execution technique works on him and he continues to cheat death. One day, an inspector comes to interview Gabimaru and tries to learn more about his early life and his crimes. While Gabimaru cooperates with the investigation, he is completely clueless that he is not talking to an ordinary inspector. This part was quite funny and sad at the same time. The reactions of the executioners at their failed attempts were hilarious. Meanwhile, it was painful to see Gabimaru suffering and yet being unable to die. Next we see Gabimaru is taken to a room where the inspector who has been questioning him in the last few days is waiting for his arrival. He is then informed that she is actually a well-known executioner named Yamada Aseman Sajiri the Decapitator, who is entrusted with the responsibility of taking his life. Aseman quickly draws her sword and tries to decapitate her target. However, Gabimaru is quick to evade the strike. Sajiri inquires why Gabimaru has saved himself, which is a legitimate query considering the fact that the ninja has been claiming that he no longer has the will to live. Sajiri then argues that she knows that Gabimaru did not lie about the fact that there has been an emptiness in his life. However, he did hide the fact that his wife is still his reason to live as he loves her with all his heart. She is still his attachment to life, which is why all of the execution methods used on him have failed to yield any result. It turns out that Sajiri has accurately analyzed the whole situation as Gabimaru's wife has given him the hope and love that he never got to experience before. It's kinda scary to think what brainwashing can do to a person. Gabimaru probably would have been killed if Sajiri didn't realize what was going on and snap him out of it. By the way, from what little was shown of Gabimaru's wife Yui, she appears to be a sweetheart of a character who is very strong-willed. It also shows how cruel Gabimaru's village is. They betrayed him because he wanted to quit his job. After taking cognizance of the whole situation, Sajiri finally reveals a letter of official pardon issued by the shogunate for Gabimaru. She reveals that there is a condition that he must fulfill to get it. Beyond the Ryukyu Kingdom, far to the southwest, there is a mysterious land known as Shininkyo that is brimming with fertility and happiness and no corresponding pain. People have even called it heaven, and it has been said that the immortality-granting elixir of life is waiting to be found there. Naturally, the shogunate was interested and wanted to get his hands on the elixir of life. He eventually sent a search party, but only the dead bodies of the people returned. This only got worse as 5 more search parties faced a similar fate. Eventually, the shogunate decided that people on death row must be used for such a task, which is why Sajiri, like many others, was looking for men who were skilled enough for the job. Sajiri reveals that whoever finds and returns with the elixir of life gets a pardon from the shogunate. However, she warns Gabimaru that he will be competing against dangerous criminals who will not think twice before taking his life. Despite being aware of the dangers, Gabimaru accepts the assignment as he desperately wants to reunite with his wife, Yui. The immortality elixir trope isn't anything new, but the twist that was put around it here is quite interesting. First episode made it clear that this isn't gonna be a typical show. In episode 2 we see, Sajiri recalls how she once witnessed the execution of a storyteller by her father. Before he was killed, the condemned man demanded that his life be taken while he was telling a story. Interestingly, Sajiri's father beheads the man with such a great technique that he does not suffer any pain. He continues to tell the entire story and only dies once he has finished reciting it. Ever since that day, Sajiri has wanted to master the technique of painless executions. Unfortunately, years of hard work and dedication have failed to help her achieve the desired result. It turns out that Sajri struggles to keep her emotions in check while executing someone, which leads to painful deaths. It's fascinating how Sajri's mindset keeps confusing and torturing her. On one hand, her passion tells her to execute people without hesitation, and on the other side, her morals keep making her think if the people she kills deserve death or not. It's strange how our mind can contradict our will at times. Yamada Asima Aizen even feels that she is not fit for the job and should quit, as facing the executioner's fate is not everyone's cup of tea. Interestingly, Sajri had been bullied from a very young age because she belongs to the Yamada clan, who are primarily employed in jobs that make money through death. While these thoughts rush through her mind, the selection process to pick criminals on death row who will go to Shininkyo to procure the elixir of life has already begun. The 11th Seii Taishogun, Nariyoshi Tokugawa, addresses 30 condemned men and tells them about their only chance to avoid death. While the criminals are being informed, Sajri is actively checking their records and is shocked to realize how dangerous these men are. That's when she also contemplates whether she will be able to give them a painless execution by keeping her emotions in check, knowing that they fully deserve what they are getting. Meanwhile, the criminals are shown, the only survivor who returned from Shininkyo. It is evident from his condition that he has been through a traumatic experience and is now barely alive. The visual image is so brutal that some of the prisoners do not want to go to the island. That's when one of them is executed by a Yamada clan executioner. The criminals are then told that each one of them will be accompanied by one executioner and only a few of them to go. In order to eliminate the others, a physical fight is allowed between the prisoners, which they are allowed to kill until only 10 of them survive. Although Gabimaru does not wish to fight, some of the criminals target him after being told that he can be their ticket to Shininkyo. When push comes to shove, Gabimaru decides to defend himself and kills every single man who was planning to attack him. This whole part is so gory and brutal that I'm amazed Studio Mappa allowed it. It also shows that Gabimaru may be a kind soul, but he is the most dangerous at the same time. He savagely killed everyone who tried to kill him without blinking an eye. After Gabimaru kills all the criminals who tried to murder him, Sajri finally has a realization. She feels that she did not need to overcome the fear of killing someone, but instead gather the resolve to take on the burden of that fear and the lives that she took. This seems like an enlightening experience for the young executioner who has been struggling internally for quite some time now. While she is having her realization, the selection process for the criminals is finally declared to be complete. It is then announced that the criminals who are selected to head to Shininkyo are Aza Chobe the Bandit King, Tamiya Gentetsusai the Sword Dragon, Twisted Kayan the Hunter of 100, Narugaya the Sanka, Harubo the Killing Prayer, Akajinu the Cannibal Courtesan, Kunoichi Yuzuria of Keishu, Moromakaya the Apostate, Rokuroda the Giant of Bison, and the runaway shinobi Gabimaru the Hollow. All of the 10 aforementioned candidates will be accompanied by an Asiman executioner of the Yamada clan. The entire group will board a ship sailing to the uncharted island in the Southern Sea. The criminal who manages to get his hands on the elixir of life first earns an official pardon and gains his freedom again. I liked how Gabimaru's words made Sajri realize what she actually needs to do. I don't have much of an impression of the characters yet. I'm seriously eager to see what will happen on the island. Anyways, Hell's Paradise seems to be another banger dark anime. As always, thanks for watching everyone. If you like my video and want to see me make more, then hit the like button and subscribe. If you want to say something, then leave a comment. You can also follow me on Twitter or check out my Facebook page. Links are given in the description. Until then, see ya.